Hey, what's up? So I'm not gonna make this as long as the last one, I promise. I just want to know if I'm a step parent. I'm a step parent to three kids. One is grown. Actually, two are grown. My third one is about to be 18 next month. Anyway, I just want to know, was it a hard struggle for you to go from being single with no kids, no significant other, to being with somebody who has kids, um, and end up marrying the person? So you have stepkids now, right? Right. We've been together for 10 years. It has been a struggle for me. I think starting about when my oldest son was about 14, he started to wild out. Um, it was hard because him and I got along so well. We had a lot in common. We like sports, football, wrestling, playing around, being jokesters, things of that nature. He started messing up in school. He started hanging around the wrong crowd, evidently. He ended up being not the son that he started off being, if that makes sense. He ended up being a firecracker, um, a firecracker that could make you laugh at the drop of a dime. But he ended up being involved with some serious things, some serious issues at a young age. And me being me and who I know and things like that saved his butt a lot of times. Um, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do, to be honest with you. I only did it because of my wife. Uh, Happy wife, happy life. It's true for the most part. So he ended up leaving at the age of 16, um, hanging out with all these hoodlums or whatever, these people that just weren't good for him. And it started to show. He started, dealing with guns, drugs, things of that nature. Police knew him by name. Not good situation, messing with a lot of females at once. Um, he ended up having a baby. So I have a grandchild, but the mother of the grandchild, she just won't let us see him for some reason. Um, but that's a whole nother story. Um, then we have Donovan. Oh, maybe I should, whatever. He's going to be 18 in December. He decided he found a girlfriend that he liked. So, first girlfriend, first piece up, and he got hooked evidently. So then he started acting out. We would be kind enough to let her come over and spend the night, which, again, nothing I wanted. Happy wife, happy life. So we started to let him have her stay over. Of course, door had to stay open, yada, 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 yada. Then he would go over to her house and spend a week over there. Yeah, what are you? You're 16, 17 years old. Who's the parent here? You know what I'm saying? Well, obviously it's not me, or it wasn't me. May still not be. But he I told him, I sat him down one day and I was like, you're only this age and having a girlfriend is cool, but she doesn't live here and you don't live over there. So I'm gonna need you to make a choice because you've already made that choice. So you might as well just express that choice to me. So are you going to continue to stay here and live with us and see your girlfriend as normal people do? Or are you going to go ahead and make that big boy decision and go ahead and move in with her? Well, he made the big boy decision and decided that this just wasn't for him, that he wanted to be with his girlfriend 24/7. And believe me, that's what it is, 24/7. If you see him, you see her. I would say if he had a job, she would probably just stay wherever his job is all day until he got off. He doesn't understand what he's getting himself into, unfortunately. He's in love, she's in love, woo, 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 woo. Which brings me to my third child, 30 something years old. I don't know. She got married to a female. Cool. That's cool as fuck. I always knew you would do that. That's Tiffany for you. Tiffany ended up moving out under dirty circumstances. I ended up becoming disabled and trying to go through and get SSI and SSDI and whatnot. And she promised she wouldn't leave until I got that all lined up. Well, that didn't work. Evidently, the government wasn't moving fast enough for her. So she decided to move out and leave just my wife to tend to all of our bills, which has been a very hard process. I take care of all the bills to the best of my abilities, but you can only do so much with what you have. You can't spread yourself too thin. But that's what we're doing, and it's all because Tiffany decided that the government wasn't taking long enough or whatever. But yeah, she ended up moving out. So on to the future. I'm rescuing my oldest son from jail time, um, getting arrested, things of that nature. Helping him out if he needs with whatever. If he needed clothes, okay, fine, you're a dick, but I'm still gonna do for you. You're my son. Very point blank. Then all of a sudden, we find out his girlfriend's pregnant. Okay, so we start helping with all that. We get happy. We're excited. My wife's always wanted another child. I was not willing to. At first, I was willing. I was like, yeah, let's try this. And then I was like, no, we're taking on too much. We already have 3 kids. We don't need another one. Well, well, they got pregnant, and there that is. I ended up actually saving her and my grandchild's life from my son. Unfortunately, he got caught up into the opiates, and he became a hot mess. He truly was. I believe he OD'd once, maybe twice. But that was Darian. Evidently he didn't care. He carried, my wife gave him a Narcan kit to carry around and all that stuff and whatnot. Well, come to find out one day, that's just what happened. He OD'd, came back. Great. You would think that he wouldn't want to do that anymore due to the fact that he has a child now. But that night it didn't work out. I actually went over there to help them with their apartment to patch up holes in the walls that he had punched in there because they were having an inspection. And during that inspection, a lot of things happened. A lot of bad things happened. And he was arrested for domestic violence. Unfortunately. And of course, we went and bailed him out. Well, we waited. We went to go get him. And they had rearrested him on a whole total different charge due to some things that happened during the domestic violence situation. So he ended up having to be on ankle monitor. And he couldn't stay here because I was part of the whole incident with the domestic violence thing. I was there, I was a witness, yada, yada. So the courts kept us away from each other. Got it. Okay. So that's when he first has a heart attack. And we all know what it came from. His wild lifestyle from when he was, when he started being hanging around them hoodlums, 15, 16 years old. And it got the best of him. It got the best of his body. It got the best of his organs. And so they brought him back. Thank you, Jesus. They brought him back. I was unable to see him because of the court having this separation issue because of the case. I reached out to the DA's office. I can't even count how many times to be able to see my son if there's a medical emergency, because evidently there's medical emergencies. He's always gotten himself hurt. He's had he had all kinds of cuts, and he's broken this and broken that. And yeah. So I guess my wife was privy to be there again, which I was not. He made it all seem good. I think that scared the crap out of him, honestly. He started to do better. He got a job. He got a job he loved, laying cement for the city, making bank, basically. He was going to be able to provide a wonderful life for his grandson. Unfortunately, not too much long later, he suffered another heart attack. And this time they weren't able to save him. And he passed away. That was one of the hardest things in my life, honestly. I hadn't seen my son in, I want to say, like 6 months, except for like at court, maybe twice, So it was hard for me. It still is, as you can see him get a little emotional. But the hardest thing for me was I was there. I beat everybody there. My wife called me. She was crying. She was screaming, so on and so forth. So I haul butt over there. Boom, I'm there. I'm trying to get in the door. Tiffany's wife stops me on a dime. She's at that door and won't let me through it. Police are all around. I know most of them that are there. And I'm pretty much, I was told that they were afraid they were going to have to take me to jail that day, which, I'm not going to sit here and lie. If Tiffany's wife hadn't been standing there holding a baby, I would have plowed right through her with no problems. But she was holding a baby, and she kept screaming at me. He's not your son. He's not your son. He's not your son. Well, then that makes your wife not my daughter either. And it makes my other son not my son either. I'm a step parent. I will do anything for my kids within reason, as long as it's good for them. But yeah, she was very, very disrespectful. And I even had a piece of paper in my hand that said, hey, look, if shit's going down, she can see her son. So Courtney didn't even care about that. She just kept standing there telling me over and over again, it's not your son. It's not your son. You can't go up there. They're working on him. Yada, 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 yada. Why would you do that to somebody who hasn't seen their son in 6 months? And you up there letting you and Tiffany up there, Courtney and Tiffany up there letting him basically do whatever he can while he's on this ankle monitor. Not okay. If you're going to play the role of a parent, play the role of a parent. That was her brother, not her son. Fast forward to today. Why is my youngest son staying over there as well now? He has been allowed to move in with his girlfriend into Tiffany's house. Again, if you're going to play the parent, play the parent. You're not a parent. You don't have kids, but you're taking my rights away because they are my kids. And I thought you, of all people, would understand because I got Tiffany from my ex-wife. My ex-wife was abusive. We finally ended up going ahead and going our different ways. And yeah, that was that. Tiffany did not want to go with her, so I kept Tiffany. I got Tiffany and I learned her. I taught her a whole lot of life that she would have never found out had she gone anywhere else. I'm sure of it. I love her. I love her to death. There's no doubt about that. But I, I, I can't. I can't just because of that those two incidents. One, you left me. She left me, and her other mom. At least that's what she called us, Mom and Mimi. Um, in a tough spot when she just bounced and decided to move out. Um, yeah, that hurt me to the bone. You made a promise, you broke it. You essentially lied, and anybody who knows me knows I don't go for those things. So I'm not sure. Right now, I have a 20-year-old son who is no longer with me. I can't see his son because his baby mama won't let won't let us for some reason. After I saved her life and his life, hell, even Darian's life at that night, she won't let me see the kids. Or excuse me, she won't let me see the baby. And evidently, I named the baby. I was saying something out loud and she got a hold of it. She heard it and she liked it and she decided to name the baby after that name, which is Arkael, I believe. Um, but yeah, I mean, every day I struggle not knowing if I'm ever going to see my son's child again or if Donovan's going to go ahead and get his girlfriend pregnant. Am I going to want to be a part of that? I don't know. Um, being a step parent is very, very, very hard, at least for me. And I know it's hard for a lot of people as well. And I commend each and every one of you for that, for stepping up and being a child, being a parent to somebody who doesn't have one of their parents in their life for some reason or another, or even foster care, whatever the case may be. So now I'm basically just wondering, like I said, do I still call them my kids? Right now, I am the hardest person to get to forgive you. And right now, I'm not forgiving nobody. You know, Donovan asked my wife, "What are you get?" Ask Mimi what she's getting me for Christmas and my birthday. I've seen him walk down the street right past this house numerous times, not stop, not say hi, not say screw ya, nothing. So now what? Now I'm not forgiving. I'm not forgetting. They both hurt me in ways that are basically unimaginable or were unimaginable to me. Excuse me, I'm plugging in my box there. Um, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them two. I know I worship Darian because of what he went through, how he handled himself, what his outcome was, with getting the job and doing a complete 360. He ended up trying to be a rising star, but unfortunately, the effects of all the drugs and things he did in his life caught up with him, and he is now with the Lord, and he's one of the biggest parts of my heart. Um, and right now, that heart just isn't repairable. That took a lot out of me. um, so yeah, I mean, what do you do? Now I have all these other kids that were Darian's friends calling me Mimi and wanting me to cook and do all this stuff. And I don't feel like doing that because at the end of the day, I just want, I don't even know what I want. I can tell you I want to see my grandson. And if I don't see Tiffany, Courtney, Donovan, what's his girl's name? Liz or something like that. If they decide they don't want to have a part in my life, that's fine with me. Just remember where you came from and who taught you what you know now. And be a better person. Be a better person to those who loved you. Excuse me, I shouldn't say love. To those who love you. But I'm not expecting it. Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but I want to say that's kind of what step parents have to deal with. It is, but there's so much more. And I know a lot of you out there know it. Are you going to see this? Are you going to comment? I don't know. But I found that this is a good therapeutic way for me to unleash a lot of things that me being in the state of mind that I am, um, being disabled, um, not only physically but mentally. I have mental issues that I am still working on to this very day. And I'll continue to. I will struggle and I will continue and I will push. Um, it's almost Thanksgiving. Am I going to see those two? When I say those two, I mean Donovan and Tiffany. Um, Probably not. I'm going to go 99.9% no. I will probably see all of Darian's friends if I'm in the mood, but right now I don't think I'm too much in the mood. I'm actually thinking about going to Anchorage and chilling with my auntie. This is a hard time of the year for me, not only for not having my kids, but also this is the month that my grandmother passed away, my Oma. She passed away right before Thanksgiving. Um, so how do you celebrate a holiday that hurts you so much? Christmas, same thing. Same thing. Um, January, Oma's birthday. March, my pops' birthday. Of course, I don't have him in my life because he passed away as well. But that's a whole nother story. I can make a whole story out of that for real, like I am now. Like I promised not to, but anyways, so that's just some of the things that I'm dealing with as a step parent, if I'm even still a step parent, or if I'm even what I'm not gonna go with grandma or anything like that. I'm Mimi. That's what they've called me. All the kids call me Mimi. If you're from the South, you know that's a term of endearment, usually used in like aunties and things like that. You know, so those are the things. A very short list of things that are really just not okay. And they're not helping me get any better up here. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to take this time and do this so I can release some energy, some negative energy from my mind for today. And again, like I said, this is a great way for me to do it. If people see it and they get down with it and they understand, hey, you want to talk, I'm here to talk, you know. But that's it. That's what I have for you today. What's today? The 10th, November the 10th. So, step parents out there, if you're watching this, give me some feedback. God knows I need it. Until I get back on this thing next time, everybody, stay blessed.